Hello, and hi, and welcome to the guidance session that we are having today. Hopefully, all of you are doing good. So, as you all know, that you would have to sit for a final interview in order to get your CAS. So, this is just a small guidance session that we are having in order to help you for your final interview, right? And as you can see, this is for Coventry University that we are having today. All right. So, the first things which we need to check that the interviewers are checking is first of all the genuineness of the student, the English comprehension skills of the students, and also the amount of research that has been done. So ideally, if you are a serious student, you should be doing a lot of research before choosing UK as your study destination, or choosing Coventry University out of all the universities. So you have to show the interviewer how much of research you have actually done before making this choice. And of course, UK being an English speaking country, the English comprehension skills will also be checked during the interview. So one of the main focus areas would be why UK? Why did you choose UK out of all the countries which are available? So over here, of course, you can talk about a lot of points. So some of the points which we would like to mention is, say, for example, you can talk about the quality of education. So as the British education system is something that is highly popular and is globally regarded all over, right? So definitely a UK degree is something that is going to be globally accepted and will, you know, help you to learn the latest methodology, which will definitely help you in your future to perform, because as you would know, the whole methodology of teaching is a blend of practicals and theory. So probably these are methods which would help you to increase your efficiency and productivity later during your future course of actions. Then also, of course, tied to that would also be the value of degree. So, the UK degree is highly valuable and, globally accepted. So, all big MNC firms will definitely give a lot of weightage to your UK degree. So, definitely it will add on a lot of weightage to your CV. Also, things like, shorter course durations. As you would know, UK generally you can finish your masters in a year, and also your bachelor courses have a proper course duration, which will definitely, the faster you finish, it will save a lot of time and money for you. And also UK has multiple intakes, and you have a lot of course choices. Like if you just pick MBA, for example, it has more than 200 kinds of MBAs that are possible. And also, UK gives you certain financial benefits as well. Like, for example, you can, see the scholarships that some of the universities are giving, and also, the national health services which are provided, which would, be kind of a medical insurance for all the students. So these are all the benefits which UK is providing. And of course, you can add in your own points as well. And over here, we would definitely suggest you to, compare UK with other countries. Like, for example, first you can compare UK with your own home country. Like, if you're comparing with India, you can say that, in India, the whole methodology of teaching is very, very theoretical, whereas in UK, it's a blend of practical and theory. And also, if you look at the syllabus in India, the syllabus is, pretty outdated, whereas, UK will go with more contemporary relevant issues will be covered. And definitely the whole way of teaching encourages a lot of innovation and creativity in students. Then also here you can compare UK with other English speaking countries, like for example, USA, Canada, Australia, right? These are all popular destinations that you may want to compare UK with. So let's say, for example, if you select Canada, so you can say that, first of all, you can compare on the basis of climatic conditions. So you can say that, climate in Canada is pretty harsh, whereas in UK it is way more moderate and tropical in nature, which would definitely be more suitable for Indians to adjust. And also, we can say that, with Canada, you generally in 1 year you would get a post graduation diploma, whereas in UK, you're getting a proper master's degree within, that same 1 year. So these can all be reasons. And, over here, like I've told you, make sure that you're comparing UK with other countries as well. All right. So the next important thing, which definitely will be your focus, is why did you choose Coventry out of all the universities that are available? So over here, of course, again, we have multiple reasons. So it's completely up to you, the ones you want to focus on, and you can add in your own points as well. So firstly, we can definitely talk about rankings. So the rankings of Coventry University, you have to, definitely something that you should see before going. So for rankings, of course, here make sure whenever you're giving the answer, you give a proper complete ranking. Okay, so don't give answers like Coventry is in the top 200, or Coventry is top 20, or Coventry is highly ranked. Here you have to mention specific rankings where you need to mention the rank, the organization that has ranked it, and also the year it has got the ranking. So for example, like over here, if you talk about the rankings, then for example, here you can see, there's the Times Higher Education ranking, which we have chosen. So here you may say that, Coventry has been ranked between 801 to 1000 in 2023. So now this is a complete ranking where you actually mentioned the rank, the year it has been ranked, and also the organization that has ranked. Similarly, if you, for example, talk about the QS World Ranking, so you can say that, as per QS World Ranking, Coventry ranks between 651 to 700 in 2023. And also here you may additionally say that, it has also got 5 QS stars. So here, like this, you have to learn at least 3 to 4 rankings too, which I showed you, like the Times Higher Education ranking and the QS World Ranking. Apart from this, you can always, have your own rankings, and you can go through more, like there is the complete university guide, or there is the guardian ranking. So but at least make sure 3 to 4 rankings you talk of. All right, so the next important thing would be the awards, the awards which Coventry has won. So here definitely, if you go to their official website, and you type in awards in the search option, you will get the awards and accreditations of Coventry. Like for example, you can see, it has been shortlisted as the University of the Year, and this was given by Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide. Or you can see, it is #1 modern university in Midlands. It has been, also been awarded the top 5 UK student city by the QS Best Student Cities Index. So like this, if you go and you scroll towards the bottom, you have a lot of them written over here. So make sure at least 3 to 4 awards and achievements you can talk of. And another additional important things which you may talk about is like, the employability rate, like, 82% employed graduate role and further study. You can talk about this. You can say that it has got 76% overall satisfaction as per the NSS, which is the National Student Service. So you can talk about all these things to, show why you have chosen Coventry University. Then things like its history, its rich heritage, its culture, then, the location of the place, which is suitable for students, the employability rate and student satisfaction rate, like I showed you already. Then the facilities. So over here, you talk of facilities like, everything that is being provided to you. Like for example, the library is there, the gym is there, the cafes are there. But make sure whenever you're giving the answers, your answers are specific and they are not generic in nature. So if you just say things like Coventry has a library, which is true, but it may not be enough, because if you think all universities have a library, so that cannot be a reason why you will choose Coventry. So if you're talking about the facility like library, you need to talk about the library. Like for example, what is the name of the library, the kind of services you get there, like 24/7 facility, or things like extra things which you're getting there, like the number of books, number of laptops, the e-book services. So make sure you talk about the facility. Then the alumni, like, people who have passed out of Coventry. So if there are people who are, famous and who have studied from Coventry, definitely you can talk about them as well. Then also the faculty, the teachers who will be teaching you. You will have a lot of teachers over there who are highly educated and who have a lot of industrial practice and industrial experience, and they're pretty famous people. So you can talk about your teachers as well. And these will all be reasons. Also, additionally, you may want to talk about the modules which are being offered. These can all be reasons why you would choose Coventry University. Now, after doing research about Coventry University, the next important thing is you should compare Coventry with similar UK universities as well. So, whenever you're making choices, you should look at all alternatives, and only after doing a thorough survey, you should actually come to a conclusion. So, similarly, for Coventry, before coming to the decision that you want to go with Coventry, you should have compared it with similar UK universities. And over here, when you're making comparisons, make sure you choose universities which are around the same position in this league table, or which are a little lower than Coventry. Obviously, don't choose universities like Oxford, Cambridge, because these are all heritage universities and you cannot compare Coventry with these. So make sure you're comparing with similar UK universities. So over here, when you're comparing, the parameters which you may use, one can be definitely your rankings. So for example, see if you choose one ranking like Times Higher Education ranking, you can see that Coventry ranks between 801 to 1000, and then choose another university which ranks lower in the same THE, and then you can say that as per the THE ranking, I chose Coventry. But make sure whichever ranking you are choosing, that has to be the common ranking between Coventry and the other university that you're comparing with, right? And also here you can definitely talk about the awards and achievements. So let's say for example, if you're comparing Coventry with any university which has got a silver in teaching excellence framework, then you can say that as comparing the teaching excellence framework, we all know that Coventry has a gold, whereas XYZ, whatever university you choose, has got a silver, hence I prefer Coventry. So like this, you must have solid points to show that why you chose Coventry over the other universities. So similarly, definitely modules are another important area why you would choose Coventry. So if you actually go through, similar universities who are giving you, the same course or similar course, you will always find there are certain modules which are present in Coventry and not in those other universities. So here you have to talk about those specific modules which Coventry is giving you, which the other universities are not. So you can always say that these are modules which you're interested in, and definitely that is being offered by only Coventry, hence you chose Coventry. So that can also be a reason. And of course, lastly, you may always compare it on the basis of your tuition fee or your living expenses, but make sure this should also always be a last point. This shouldn't be the main points. The main points should be rankings, awards, modules. This can be the last supporting point, which can be your living expenses and your course fee as well. After this, the next important thing would be the course, the course that you are going for. So definitely you should know the reasons for you to choose this course. And because out of all the courses you have chosen this specific course, so there must be some specific reasons in your mind that why you have chosen this particular course. So those reasons should be highlighted to the interviewer if asked. And over here, when we are learning about the course, the easiest thing that you can do is you can actually, write the name of your module, your course, and, search the official website of Coventry. So, for example, if we say put the course of engineering management MSc, over here you have all the information, like it will give you a course overview, like what all you are supposed to be learning in this. Also after this you will find that how you will benefit from this course, which is written in a lot of detail. Then the kind of different recognitions and accreditations which your course has, like for example this one has a CMI accreditation. So definitely you can talk about these reasons for choosing the course. Then next will come your modules. So definitely they are also very important, that you should know the modules, and you should be able to explain the modules if when asked that what you're going to learn in those modules. So go through this portion. Also after this you will also have the assessment pattern, like how your course is going to be assessed. Then also your course fee and your course duration, everything is mentioned. And then you will find this portion called facilities. Okay, so these are facilities which are specially suited for your course. Like for example, here we have chosen engineering management MSc, right? So these are the facilities which will help specially for this course, like the library, the Jaguar Center, the hub. So when you're mentioning facilities, it's always ideal that you talk about facilities which are actually suiting your course rather than mentioning an absurd facility. You mention a facility which is going with your course, right? Apart from this, academic progression is something that you may have to justify. So, for example, whenever you have finished your last academic qualification, and if it is not the previous year, then you have to justify that gap, that what you were doing all this while. So you will have to justify with relevant work experience. Then also your next thing, your course has to be relevant with your future plans. So for this, you should be very sure that you know what you want to do in the future, like the kind of job roles that you're looking at, the kind of designation you're looking at, the companies you want to work in, and the type of salary that you're expecting. So these are things that you should be aware. And here, of course, the future plans have to be relevant to the course that you're going for, right? Next important thing is your financials. Now, your financials are very, very important. And of course, you have to show sufficient funds. And remember, whenever you're showing funds, the funds must be enough to cover your living expenses and your tuition fee for 1 year. So, for example, let's say if your tuition fee is £15,300 and you're going to the Coventry campus where your living expense is coming to 9207, then 25 and 9 gives you 4. So at least 24 lakhs of Indian currency you have to show. The more the better, of course, but at least 24 lakhs you have to show. And for showing funds, definitely it can either be via a savings account or a fixed deposit or an education loan. Now, when it comes to your sponsors, as you would know, in case of Coventry, either you can be self-funding, or it can be your parents, or it can be a spouse who can sponsor you and nobody else. Okay, so do not mention things like your siblings, your grandparents, your uncle are sponsoring. They are not supposed to be sponsoring. Okay, so only your parents or your spouse can sponsor you apart from your own self. All right. And obviously, whoever is sponsoring you, you should know the details of that sponsorer. Like, what is that person's occupation? What is that person's annual income? What is the kind of different kinds of income that person has? How many people are dependent on the sponsorer? You should be aware of such things. Similarly, for fixed deposit and savings account, you should be knowing the bank details, like which bank you have the money, what is the amount of money, for how long the funds have been lying there, and it should definitely be more than 28 days, right? The fund should be there for more than 28 days. So all these details should be um, known by you in case asked. Also, another thing is you may take an education loan, but as you can see, the loan can only be an education loan. No other purpose loan can be taken. So, in case if you're taking an education loan, then you must be aware that you know which bank you're taking from, what is the amount of loan that you're taking, and what is the interest rate that you're required to pay. And in India, as you would know, if you're taking a loan of more than 8 or 8.5 lakhs, you will have to give a collateral. So, collateral is basically like the security which you mortgage with the bank. So, which may be your land, your property, or any asset that you're giving. So, in this case, you must be aware that you know what is the collateral that you're giving the bank and what is the value of that collateral. So that so by the value, obviously, I mean the market price of that collateral. So, if you're, for example, giving your house, so you should be knowing what is the market value of your house that you're giving against the loan. All right. Other important things which you should find out and you should remember is first of all, what's your tuition fee? You should definitely know what is your tuition fee and your living expenses. And for this, definitely go through your offer letter. Your offer letter will have everything in detail. And for living expenses, as you know, one would be the inner London figure and one would be the outer London figure. So if you're going for the Coventry campus, it would be the outer London figure. So then your living expenses will be 1023 pounds per month, which will come to 9207 total. And for your inner London figures, which will be your London campus, your per month would be 1334 pounds, where the total will come to 12,006. Because remember, we always calculate for 9 months and not for 12 months, since 3 months are supposed to be holidays. Apart from knowing these, you should know your campus location, where your campus is located, the address of your campus, things that are nearby your campus, your airport, for instance, which is the nearest airport and how much time it would take for you to reach the campus from the airport. You must, know such things. Then another thing is your accommodation, where you will be staying. Now, this is very important. Now, of course, you cannot book your accommodation from now, but at least you should have a rough idea that where exactly you would be staying and how much it may cost you. So, for example, for accommodation, if you go through your official website where you have things like student accommodation section under life on campus. So, if you go through it, if you scroll down, you will see there's this option: where can I live? How do I apply for it? What is the accommodation fee? Everything is mentioned. So, for example, if you go to where can I live? So you will have various options that that are available for you. Like say, for example, the Bishop Gate, then the Cycle Works, and here you also have the amount written. Like for example, for Bishop Gate, it would be 140 pounds per week. So like this, and if you click on these, of course, it will give you the details about that accommodation. Similarly, if you're going for the London campus, then you can go to the site called student.com, and over here you will of course give the name of your university, the Coventry University London campus, and you have all the options over here, the nearby accommodations which are available. So you should have a rough idea that where you may live once you're in UK and how much your accommodation cost would come to. And remember, accommodation cost is not same as your living expenses, because your living expenses would mean the entire thing, which would have your accommodation, food, miscellaneous expenses, everything. But your accommodation cost would only be the room rent that you're paying. So you must be aware of all these things as well. Other very important things to note is the intention of coming back to the home country. So remember, you are going there on student visa as a student. So your job is to go there and focus on your studies. So firstly, you should not be working part-time. You should be, staying there and focusing on your studies and, look after your academic performance. But in case if you want to work part-time, because as international students may work for 20 hours per week, you may work, but that would only be to gain some experience, because as I told you, the funds which you will be showing for visa will already be sufficient. So you are supposed to show enough funds and you should be financially secure. So even if you're working part-time over there, is just to gain some experience. And definitely once you finish your course, you must come back to your home country and not stay back in UK, because you are going there to study on student visa. So your whole focus is only on finishing the course. So once you're done with the course, you should definitely come back to your home country. And in case if any of you would be going for the PSWV, which as you know is the post-study work visa, you may go for it. But as PSWV will maximum be for like a year or two. But you should make it very clear that once you're done with the post-study work visa, you will definitely come back to your home country. So your future plans must be to do with India, not in UK. So you should not be, settling in UK. And coming to dependence, you should not be taking anybody with you. So you should be traveling alone and staying there alone. But in case if you are taking any dependent with you, then you have to show enough funds for that person as well. So you have to show funds of at least 8 to 10 lakhs for that person, which has to be separate from your funds. And also the reason for taking your dependent should be very clear. Like say, for example, maybe, to help you in your household work or, for your emotional support. And also you should make it very clear that, once your course is over, you and your dependent both will be coming back to the home country. Right? So these things should be very, very clear. And, your intention of coming back to the home country should be conveyed to the interviewer, right? So thank you. I think these were the most important things which we had to cover. And just like I told you, it's a guidance session that we have. And of course, you can add in your own points. You're most welcome to do that. But make sure whenever you're adding points should be relevant, and you should do a thorough research for whatever you are putting. And also make sure every answer that you're giving is very, very specific. Please avoid generic answers. So you should not be giving any vague, random, generic answers, but your answer should be very, very specific in nature. So for that, you will have to do the research so that you have the data to justify your answers. Right. So thank you so much for joining. That's it for today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed, and this will help you to clear your final credibility interview. So thank you so much for joining. All the very best for your final interview. Take care. Bye bye.